know it's your boy Fat Rob, and I'm here to let you know you tuned in to the Ridin Durty Radio Show with Uncle VicXL and your girl Boss Lady Bird. Now let's get it jumping. Yeah.
Yo, 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 what is up, world? Ridin Durty Radio Show in the building. Your boy VicXL.
And I'm Boss Lady Bird.
Let's go to the movies. Let's go to the movies. Let's go to the movies. What up, Bird?
What up, Vic?
Man, just maintaining. Bird,
that's all you can do in today's world.
It's always an honor and a pleasure to hang out with you. It's one of the high points of my life.
Likewise.
So, man, I got to talk about it. We've been on our movie kick. Shout out to everybody who had the opportunity to check out our review on Snoop Dogg's movie, Underdogs. Y'all know me and Bird, we'll watch a documentary, we'll watch a movie, we'll come back and talk to y'all about it. Man, this is probably our fourth or fifth one. We did How to Tame an Elephant, that crazy-ass horror movie I can't remember the name of.
Departments.
Well,
Underdogs.
We still might be the only people who talked about Departments. We talk about the documentary of what's the guy's name that you turned me on to?
Oh, Boogie 2988.
Hey, man. So look, when y'all watch the Ridin Durty Radio Show, understand we are giving y'all the best coverage in this genre of hip hop culture. So you know that's artists, that's news. Hell, we might talk about clothing, alcohol, whatever. If it's part of this hip hop culture, Ridin Durty Radio Show is all over it like concrete. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
And we throw in a little bit of randomness every once in a while.
Hey, and we might tell y'all a little bit about sex, help improve y'all sex life, because some of y'all be needing some goddamn help. Some of y'all need some goddamn help.
They do.
I need some help from time to time. So, hey, man, we all need some help. But before we get into it, Bird, I want to shout out these good, amazing people who check us out. And let me say this, Bird, if you don't mind, I'm going to start uploading our shows to Spotify. Do you have a problem with that?
No problem. Go ahead.
All right, so coming real soon, I'll let y'all know when. Y'all will be able to hear the Ridin Durty Radio Show on Spotify. I think I'll start with the Underdogs when it move forward because all the other ones I no longer have the files, and I will have to actually take the videos, bust them down, maybe if I got time. But I will start with Underdogs. So y'all go to Spotify, go to the Ridin Durty Radio Spotify page, and the podcast will be there also. And when they're up, hopefully by next episode, I'll be letting y'all know. For y'all can check out me and Bird on Spotify while you're at the gym or whatever the hell you do when you listen to Spotify. We'll be there. Bird, before we get into this review, I want to say shout out to everybody who has had an opportunity to go vote for us. If you're watching this show and didn't know, Bird and myself were nominated for Podcast of the Year on YoATLRaps.com. YoATLRaps.com. It's still time for you to go vote for the biggest boss of them all, Boss Lady Bird and myself, the Ridin Durty Radio Show Podcast of the Year.
Yeah.
Hey, Bird, I ain't gonna lie. I don't win a lot of things, but being nominated shows me it makes me feel, it chokes me up to know that people care enough to put our name on the ballot.
Right. Absolutely.
And because you know what? Every time I go vote, I always write my name in on the ballot. When I go vote, like I voted like during the presidential election, the Trump versus Biden, I wrote my name in. And I got 2 votes.
That's funny.
I know I got 2 votes because I voted for me and the wife voted for me. And man, a few more votes, man, I might have been up in that thing.
So you got 2, you and your mama, or you and your wife?
Me and the wife. A few more votes, man. I might have been in that goddamn. I might have been in that guy. And you know what would have happened if I got in that guy? Every Wednesday.
What's that? Well, what would have went down, Vic?
Every Wednesday we're getting off at 12 o'clock. All businesses will shut down at noon. And we can go home and smoke and hang out.
You need that little middle of the week. You need that little middle of the week break. You know, it helps you get through the rest of the week.
Hey, every Wednesday, we are shutting down the economy. Take your ass home, be with your family, roll up, pull up, and then get back at it Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
at
sir.
12 noon. If you ain't handle your business by 12 noon, no doctor's appointment, no court, no Walmart, no. Take your ass home and watch TV. Go home and watch Marley. One love. When I'm president now, every Wednesday we shutting down the United States economy, and all you gonna be able to do is be at home chilling with something or someone you love. And you start your ass back over Thursday.
I think that's
Wednesday is the official USA half day.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this 52 times a year. And number two, we ain't locking up no weed men because it make it too hard to find them when we need them.
Hey, VicXL for president, y'all. VicXL
right.
for president.
No weed man will be locked up because it's too hard to find them when we need them when they locked up. Do you know how hard it is to build a relationship with your green man? You get a green man you trust. I promise you, I had my green man for like 12 years. Then he got bammed up.
And it sucks. It sucks, especially if you ain't got no backup, man.
It really I went through about 7 backups. That's how I got hooked up on that Bobby Brown and that Reggie Jackson. That's how I got hooked up. That's why I'm now back. I'm stuck with the Reggie and the Bobby. I can't get to the Zai and the Zydeco's and all the good because I'm scared of the young people. So shout out to my weed guy who's my guy for about 12 years and got bammed up and found God.
Shout out to the weed man.
Yeah, man. He locked him up. He go to jail, find God, come out and start wanting to tell me what I shouldn't be goddamn doing.
Oh no, that's the worst.
You know what I tell him?
What did you tell him, Vic?
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot no deputy.
Was you singing in the movie today?
In my head. I don't sing well.
Not me. I couldn't contain myself. Me and my sister was singing all up in the movie theater.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, me and Bird are here to talk about Bob Marley, One Love, in theaters now. I didn't have an opportunity.
It did top. I was glad to see it too because they wasn't but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 8 people in the theater when we went on Sunday, which we went to a matinee. And I thought, man, I bet this movie ain't touched them. But it was actually at the top of the box offices over the weekend, so I thought that was great.
Actually, I'm glad you said that because I did not see the numbers. It was the number 1 movie.
Yep.
What was this competition?
Something about some bitch in the web, but it flopped.
Madam Web.
Yeah,
Madam Web. Madam Web got a lot of terrible reviews. That's a DC movie. It got a lot of bad. I didn't even contemplate seeing it. I had never heard of Madam Web. I'm not a big DC guy, but I'm definitely glad this movie had the opportunity to take the number 1 spot. And I'm glad because I didn't see any numbers. Did you get any numbers on how much it actually done first week?
I did not. I just seen it was at the top of the box office.
Well, I did not get that right now. Let me find out who actually directed this movie. If I can find it real quick.
I think the Marley. Well, I don't know if they directed, but it was I think they produced it and all. But I think his kids had a lot to do with it.
Yes, it was directed by Ronaldo Marcus Green. Ronaldo Marcus Green. He's a New York native. Um, I'm trying to see what he's worked on that we might have heard of. Actually, I'm looking up his work, and the only movie that he's worked on that I've seen, and it was an amazing movie, was King Richard. Have you had an opportunity to see King Richard?
No.
King Richard, actually, if you get a chance, you should check it out. King Richard is the story of Venus and Serena, of their dad.
Oh,
And it
okay. So
actually,
he went through a lot of documentary type films then.
yeah, yeah. And it actually was it took me 2 years to watch that movie, but once I watched it, I really was impressed with his story and how he willed and worked his way to get his girls to the to where he got them, being African American women in the sport of tennis. But yeah, Ronaldo Marcus Green is the director of One Love, Bob Marley, One Love. And you're absolutely right. He worked with the family throughout the movie. If you look in the credits, if you make it to the credits, you'll see Rita Marley's name, you'll see Ziggy's name, you'll see Damon. Like, all the kids somehow had a hand in the movie. And I thought that was really, really, really
And
good.
going into it as well. When I went and I watched the trailer for it, because I said I got to see who's going to play him and see how much the person looks like him. I think after watching it, the guy that played him, I can't remember his name, Kingsley something another, I believe. I was disappointed at first. I was like, why didn't they just get one of his kids to do it? Because I felt they, number one, looked more like the character and probably would have been more authentic. Like I said, he grew on me throughout the movie with playing the character. He definitely had the accent down, to be a British guy. He definitely had the Jamaican accent down. Now, I'm going to go back to that. But going into the movie, was you hoping there would be subtitles?
No, but let me tell you why. I have a lot of friends that are Jamaican, so I can really, really understand. But let me say this.
I can too, but for others, I was just wondering,
Yeah.
I wonder if there'll be subtitles. I didn't have no problem understanding a word that they said, but I thought others might.
You actually just brought up two very valid points that my wife had. Number one, she was disappointed that they didn't get one of his sons to play him. She was like, oh my God, every one of his sons looked like him. Why couldn't they play him? And number two, even though my wife is Hispanic, there were times that she couldn't grasp the dialogue. So she probably would have liked subtitles, especially when they got into heated arguments or passionate conversations and they get to talking a little faster. So she probably would have liked the subtitle here or there. And in watching several reviews, I did see some, reviewers who wish there were subtitles. Now, if you've had any Jamaican friends who are really from Jamaica and spent a large amount of time there and got used to the dialogue, then you'll be cool. But if you're not used to that dialogue, you might feel that way, where you feel like a subtitle would be necessary here or there.
Yeah, I had no problem understanding the dialogue at all, but I felt some people probably did. But yeah, but like I said, the guy playing the part kind of grew on me, but it's still like I agree with Wifey. Like, I don't understand why Julian or Ziggy or even Steven, one of them didn't play the part. Like, I don't, but the guy grew on me. He did a great job. The whoever the kid was that played the not the little Bob, but like the teenage Bob, he looked exactly like Bob Marley at that age.
Yes. Were there any things in the movie that you learned that you did not know?
Oh no! I knew so much about Bob Marley. I dated a Jamaican from the time I was 18 till I was 21, I think. So I knew his real name was Nesta. I knew, about but and the thing to me in which they left out is, and I don't know, and probably because it's not been proven, I understand why they left the part out, because they say that the Germans give Bob Marley cancer, and he and they didn't really speak on it in the movie, but to me, if you pay attention to the way that the doctor delivered the news and was kind of confused about his diagnosis because it was a rare skin cancer, and he, was asking about his family history and shit. Like, you could tell that the doctor kind of raised an eyebrow on, why did this man, because I don't know if you ever were aware of that, but they say that the Germans infected with Bob Marley with the cancer in which he died from. I feel like they left that out of the movie, but I understand why. But at the same time, if you pay attention to the way the doctor delivers the news to Bob about his cancer, it's suspicious.
I agree. That scene was kind of weird, and because and definitely caught Bob completely off guard. Now, there was always this conspiracy theory that they did not even mention in the movie. And let me say this for some people, and this is going to be somewhat of a spoiler. If you're going into this movie thinking you're going to learn the entire life of Bob Marley, you will not. And that's my actually only disappointment in the movie. If I had to say one disappointment I had, I want to know about his humble beginnings, how he discovered his talent for singing. I wanted it, but for me, it probably been a goddamn 6-hour movie. Even though I knew these things, I wanted
I feel like they touched on things like that. It was just like they didn't do it all at one time. There were flashbacks of, when he was a child, because apparently Redemption Song, like he said, he'd been writing it his whole life. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that part. Like, I thought that was really cool to learn that. But I was afraid that they were going to leave a lot of the music out, and they didn't. So I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, it's really dope that the movie is more like it's a biopic, but it's what I call a timepiece biopic. It covers basically it covers a portion of his life. And yes, like you said, it flashes back and redirects a lot of portions in his life to let you know. But it's a timepiece from when Bob Marley was attacked to that peace concert that he had, and it also covers the biggest album in his life, which was Exodus. So if you're going into the movie, want to know everything about Bob Marley, you might want to hit your Googles before, after, because there are some things that's not going to be discussed. There was always this rumor or this conspiracy theory, whichever word you choose to use, about how he how cancer was injected in his body. They show Bob Marley playing soccer a lot in this movie. He was a huge football, not soccer. He was a huge football fan. But Bob Marley used to like playing football in his bare feet.
Yeah.
Now they didn't show that in the movie, but he was known for playing soccer barefoot. And if you're not familiar with the Rastafari religion, they're very humble. If you give them anything, they're humble to get it. They take it, they utilize it. And rumor has it, I don't know how true it is, I wasn't there, but after one of his soccer games, a supposed fan came up to him and gave him some boots. And when he put the boots on, there was a needle in the boot and it pricked his toe. And rumor has it that's where he was injected with cancer. And that's only if you're a conspiracy theorist. Other people say he injured his toe playing soccer barefoot and he didn't get it properly treated. So either or, depends on what you believe. But the origin of his cancer did come from his toe.
Yeah, well, no, sir, no. It was allegedly because of his cancer that his toe did not heal properly.
Okay, in the movie they didn't. They didn't.
Toe really had nothing to do with the cancer. If he hadn't injured the toe, he probably wouldn't have found out about it as soon as he did because he went to the doctor over the toe. But he already had the cancer at the time of the toe injury. It was the cancer and the form of cancer that he had that didn't let it heal properly.
Well, cancer eventually completely spread over his entire body.
Yeah, within like 2 years, I think.
Yeah. So,
well, because it was a rare type of skin cancer that he had anyway.
So do you believe that the pricking could be an actual cause?
The what? The where dude stepped on his toe?
No, the pricking. I thought they said someone gave him a boot.
Oh yeah, the Germans did. I don't know if he had to have like some kind of shot or some kind of what do they call like I don't know if he had to have some kind of vaccine or something to travel to Germany and shit like that. But they say that the Germans infected him with the cancer while he was on tour in Germany.
Well.
But really, let's be honest, there's no telling where the chain of command come from because they didn't like the way that Bob was uniting people through his music.
It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how much people don't like love or don't like peace.
I agree.
Like, it's amazing to me how beef, destruction, hatred is so popular, and peace, love, and harmony is so viewed as weak.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Like, to me, could you imagine? I mean, and it's hard. It's really strange to put this all on one man's shoulders or whatever, but can you imagine how different the world might be if Bob Marley were still alive?
Oh, imagine having artists like Bob Marley, Tupac alive at the same time, talking about or pushing people in that same united direction. Because if you think about it, I don't want to get off of the Marley movie too much. Those people who talked about standing up for what was right or some form of harmony or peace or trying to put together like thinking minds, most of those people are dead.
Absolutely.
Like, if you think about, like, no matter what their reasoning was, if you're out here trying to unify and unite, you get the biggest opposition ever.
Yep.
It's like, man, people don't want to see people, I think about people don't want to see people come together for a common cause that might lead to good, or come together for a common cause to go against something that's evil and bad. People don't want to see that.
Yeah.
They'll rather hide the oppressor or lie for the abuser. And going back to the movie, man, no people literally came in and tried to take that man's life.
Yeah.
For one to have a peace concert.
Yeah, that was something that stuck out to me after he was shot. And he went to what I considered his guidance, the older man with the long dreads that he would wrap around his neck. Uh-huh. And he told him, he said, you can't worry about the reason why they tried to take you out. You have to worry about why they did not succeed. And I thought that was a pretty strong message.
Yeah. That's got to be hard though. Another spoiler. I got to say this one.
At the end when the guy come to him and apologized for trying to kill him.
Man, Bird, I that choked me up, because when he was just standing in that room reminiscing, when he was pretty much, and I wondered if that really happened in that manner. I'm sure that guy did come to him for forgiveness, but I wondered if it really happened pretty much the way it happened.
In the same spot. The same spot that it happened. Yeah, I don't know if that really is how it happened, but I reckon that is a true, like, it was true.
But can you imagine, Bird, looking the person in the eye who put a bullet in your body and forgiving them? Do you have that kind of heart? Or maybe I shouldn't ask that question.
I think a lot of it would depend on the circumstances of why they did it. Like, I don't know.
I don't know if I can forgive you for shooting me.
Right.
Oh no, because you shot me. So,
but I think the way that Bob looked at it, it was political and not personal.
Well,
but regardless, I digress. Yeah, I don't know if I could have been that big of a person.
Not only did they shoot Bob, they shot his manager 6 times and shot his wife in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know what I thought was really, really dope, and I knew this story, but I liked seeing it play out on the screen. They shot Ridin Marley in the head. Yep. You know what saved Rita's life?
Her dreadlocks.
Her dreadlocks. So every time I think about cutting this thing I got on my head, that's this contraption that's on my head, I'm like, no, because somebody might try to come shoot me, and this might be my saving grace, because it's pretty thick up here. But no, I thought
if you go back and you think about the story of Samson and Delilah, and what happened after he cut his hair off, then yeah.
What did you think about their relationship between Bob and Rita?
Rita was a hell of a woman.
But
on the other end, I didn't know. I knew that Bob has a lot of kids and by different women that she took care of. But I was almost happy for her to hear that she was doing her own thing in Jamaica as well.
Well, that's something else in the theories and the discussions and documentaries of Bob Marley. There's a lot of amazing stuff online. Yeah, they said don't act like Rita didn't get her lick back, because Rita was out getting her lick back, and I wonder. And what I've heard about the Rastafarian religion, and if I'm incorrect, anybody who's Rastafarian or follows of the Rastafarian religion, please forgive me if I'm putting out bad information. It's just something I've heard and not from a Rastafari. I've always heard that divorce was frowned upon once you create that union. So once you make it to I do, this was done before, God, their creator, and breaking that union was actually worse than adultery.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard that, in a lot of situations, a lot of people frown upon divorce, and, maybe that's the American way of the world. Divorce is okay. And I don't know, I've been divorced. So I am divorced. I'm married now, but, I can't act like I don't believe in divorce because I've been there. But I know a lot of people that, deal with a lot of things, but they took that oath before God, and that oath is bigger than whatever the act that they're going through. So, but supposedly, and it kind of plays out on screen, so both of them were getting it in.
Yeah, they were.
You think me not know about your man in Jamaica, man?
Yeah.
You think you only want to have fun, Bob? Nesta, no, I gotta get it too, Nesta.
Yeah.
So, but no, shout out for her, because not only did Bob father kids outside the marriage, hey, Rita stood up like, them my kids too now, man. Because a lot like Ziggy is definitely his son, because Ziggy is in the movie. But like, I'm not sure, but like,
I think it was 2 of the daughters, the oldest, that weren't actually his, that he adopted, that she already had. I think all the boys is his.
Hey man, no, I looked that up, Bird. I'm finna Google it right now. A couple of them boys ain't his.
Well, you could be right, but I know from what I have read and just what I know, that it was definitely one of the girls that he adopted. She may have had a boy. I know it was 2 kids anyway. I think that weren't his out of the 12.
Man, but salute, man, because Bob, he had at least
At least
At
12.
least 12 children. At least. And including 3 biological and 2 adopted kids. So Rita only had 3 kids by Bob and then 2 adopted.
Mm-hmm.
He adopted Rita's daughter Sharon when they got married in 66, and her daughter Stephanie. Actually, Rita had a child by somebody while they were married. So Marita like, shit, what it is what it is. You ain't the only one out here being fruitful and multiplying, Jack.
Yeah.
Now, let me say this. And shout out to all the men that do this or have done this. Because I'm sure all of us know someone who's fathered a child while they were married.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Bird. I don't know not one woman that I know of. I can't take you to somebody, a friend of a friend. I don't know, not knowing now. There's some people we wonder about. But I don't know not one woman or of one woman who had a baby on her husband and he stayed. I'm sure there's plenty out there. I just don't know. Now, I know plenty of women that stayed with their man who had children outside the marriage. But I don't know no man. I'm sure plenty of them out there, but ain't none of them friends of my friends and my friends and my friends and my friends.
Yeah, I just read off the dome. I can't think of any either.
Cause the average bro, we up out that guy.
Out.
No, we up out. Listen, first, in the American way, we ain't trying to pay for that.
Right.
No, we accept women who have kids before us.
Right.
But the average man, and I'm talking black and white, I don't see us saying, "Oh no, you don't let this guy get you pregnant while we married." Well, you better go, because of me, I'm saying, shit, you better go live with him. You better go live with him. And I'm not saying I'm right, because if I had a child outside my marriage, I probably would want my wife to stay. But if my wife come like, I'm pregnant by whoop-de-whoop, I'm like, so when you moving in with whoop-de-whoop? Because I can't. I ain't that big of a man. Shout out to Bob Marley, because I don't know what I say at the beginning. Rita was not afraid to get her lick back.
That's it.
Shout out me Licky. Literally.
And her baby daddy Hellbilly, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of and Rita says some powerful stuff, and there's a very powerful scene. First of all, I think Rita Marley needs a movie. And the fact she's still alive, I know it won't come while she's still alive, because we tend not to want to tell people's story until their demise. But I think Rita needs a movie, because a lot of people don't know, and they talk a little bit about it in the movie. But Rita was a very talented singer too, who they wanted to do music with. And Rita, I don't think, done any solo music until after Bob passed.
No. She was fully committed to being a whaler.
And let me say this too, all the people who love music business, I need you to watch this movie. They don't touch on it a lot, but if you watch a lot of Bob Marley's documentaries, his manager Bob was the type of manager you do not want.
Just like he told him, he didn't want no money for playing in Africa, and so that guy just figured whatever money that he was gonna make off of Africa, he would just pocket it. But that's not what Bob meant.
Right. And they show a violent scene in the movie, but through documentaries, there were several scenes where Bob had to get dead on that ass.
Mm-hmm.
As my guy Gene would say, Bob had to get dead on that rusty, crusty, dusty ass.
Yeah.
about taking that money. Because Bob was out here living better than Bob. Actually, Don, I said Bob. Don was living better than Bob because he was taking a lot of money, doing a lot of deals on behalf of Bob, and Bob was really just happy spreading the message of peace and unity. And Don was out here with Versace and Gucci and the women and shit. Not that Bob didn't have the women, but Don was definitely living the life of a rock star, and it shows in the movie. He kind of felt entitled when he said, "I took 6 shots for you."
Yep.
All in all, man, amazing movie. If you like Bob Marley, I think you should see it. If you like biopics about music, I think you should see it. If you're an artist and you want to understand or see someone who truly stood behind the music they made, you should see it.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, going into it, the only thing I was concerned about was the character. Like I said, he grew on me through the movie, but I feel like they could have lightened his dreadlocks a little and just tried a little harder to make him look like Bob Marley. But it is what it is. He still played the character pretty well.
And I said the thing I didn't like was it didn't go back far enough, and that's just because I love biopics. Another part I didn't like, and I didn't understand. If anybody watches this in the chat, maybe you can enlighten me. The horse scene, like how they kept flashing back to Bob as a child running through the field to the gentleman on the horse. I didn't really understand that one. And I
was confused in the beginning because I thought that it was his dad. About any picture you ever have seen of Bob Marley's dad, he was on a horse. But then it ended up being King Selassie who was actually on the horse. And whatever ring that was that you seen on Bob's finger, the country of Africa sent him a ring just like it. So I'm not real sure what the purpose, but I know it had a meaning.
Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and one thing I gotta say. I say, ladies and gentlemen, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you get the opportunity, please take the time, scoop up your family, and go see Bob Marley's One Love. Do you agree with that, Bird?
Absolutely. Like, as soon as you told me, because I had seen like some previews and some talk about it, I had for some reason just assumed it was probably a straight to Amazon or something like that, kind of straight to streaming. So once I actually seen it was in theaters, I was like, yeah, no doubt I'm going to see this. I've been a big Bob Marley fan for many years, so yeah, it really excited me. I loved it. I'd go watch it again.
Definitely. My wife enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I got to give this thing a 5 of 5, man. I got to give it
all day. 5 on the play all day.
If no other reason, the music is worth it. There's the little things I didn't like, they're minutia. Go see it. Take your family. Buy a ticket. Buy you a Bob Marley t-shirt and walk in there with your paraphernalia on and support this movie.
Absolutely.
Where can they find you, Bird?
Find me right here on the YouTube at Boss Lady Bird. You can get me on the IG at Bird420, and you can get me over on the TikTok at Boss Lady Bird 85.
All right, and everywhere you see Ridin Durty Radio on social media, that is RIDINDURTY When you go to those pages, make sure you subscribe, follow, whatever the hell you got to do, but make sure you do it. That way you'll be able to keep up with all the content, whether it's shorts, reels, stories, posts. Be a part of the Ridin Durty Radio movement. And like I said, thank you guys for nominating myself and Boss Lady Bird, the biggest boss of my own podcast of the year, at the Yo ATL Raps Awards. Go vote, go vote, go vote. You still have time. And make sure y'all look for the Ridin Durty Radio podcast on the Ridin Durty Radio Show on Spotify.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and boys and girls, the one thing you cannot get back in this life is time. So we all know you got to use your time wisely. And if you was wise enough and thought kindly enough of me and Bird to check us out, we truly appreciate it. So to the next episode, y'all.
Yeah, we out.
Vic, your crazy cousin Hillbilly coming to you. Getting ready to grab me 2 beers and come watch the best show on the YouTube. That'd be Ridin Durty Radio with Big Vic and Boss Lady Bird. Much respect, y'all. Keep killing it in 2024.